Live from 2 News. This is Talkin' Real, powered by Strong Auto Group.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Talkin' Real here on Talkin' Sports. We're halfway through the season now, Dunny. The coach, the players will assess the team at the midpoint tonight. But first, let's show you how RSL arrived at the season's midway point. The annual Independence Day fireworks show, huge crowd, 7th minute, Burrito. The scoop gets the ball in a little tight spot, breaks Javier Morales free. Morales, beautiful ball to Yura Movsisian, but Bill Hamid outside the 18 to clear it, Dunny.
Oh, get used to that name, Bill Hamid. You're going to hear it over and over and over again during these highlights. Yura Movsisian in behind just starts to recalibrate. Hamid comes off his line. He's big, he's strong, and a timely challenge outside the 18-yard box.
10th minute, Burrito always entertaining with the ball at his feet. Works himself out of trouble, finds space. Plays a great ball in. Yura down. Fans want the penalty, but no call.
Bobby Boswell comes in, and keep an eye on the defender's left leg as it makes contact with Yura Movsisian's right leg as they push for position. Movsisian's trying to get inside. He's trying to feel the bump. He's trying to round the goalkeeper, and right there's the touch. It's absolutely a foul and a missed opportunity for Real Salt Lake.
Still scoreless, 57th minute. Burrito again working his magic in the midfield. Maintains possession, and then finds Yura. And Yura, patient, holds up, waits for support, back to Burrito, and then Burrito, it's Bobby Boswell from the highlight reel. Nailed to the ground, scoop and score, tips Hamid.
Yeah, Bobby Boswell owes everyone dinner. Unfortunately, he gets spun like a top outside the 18, or right near the midfield. Yura Movsisian goal line, recognizes options on end, and then just watch Yura. Sets up, recognizes Burrito. Kid in the candy shop. Little dink right here, delicate little touch. Nothing Bill Hamid can do about it. And Burrito Martinez, you can smother the burrito, you just can't stop it. What a fantastic little touch right there. That is just world class finishing.
90th minute, RSL searching for the dagger. Burrito the header, the substitute, Olmas Garcia, the flick. He's in on Hamid, who comes up with a kick save. Huge night for Hamid.
In my estimation, this could have very easily been 6-7-0 in favor of Real Salt Lake had it not been for Bill Hamid. 3 shutouts in 5 matches. He was phenomenal.
Stoppage time, 92nd minute, DC United the corner. Jared Jeffrey unmarked. Dunny, how does this happen? The equalizer.
Well, Nick Raimondo calls off Tony Beltran off that near post. He tells him to push out to the top of the 6. Chris Wingert saying, I got 2. No one's recognizing defensively. He takes De Leon as the stronger header of the ball, but Jared Jeffrey, right place, right time. Substitute comes off the bench, and DC United grabs the point. As you can see, Burrito comes off. Beltran switches from near post to far post. And a big goal for DC United.
1-1 the final. RSL needs to get better at killing off games. Here's Chris Wingert.
Almost every team needs to do that. That's not, a world champion.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely. I think we do, and I think there's a couple ways to do that. I think, we need to, in that game, we need to be able to shut them out and finish the game 1-0, and we also need to be able to score the second goal. So there's a couple ways to do that, and we'll keep working on it.
We were a little naive in our choices at the end of the game to kill the game. It was 1-0. We had the game fully under control, and I think if we make some different choices, we can lock out the game. And so it was a quick talk. There was so much to be positive in that game, but we do have to learn how to manage closeout games in a mature fashion.
Dunny, a couple of points there. Late goals earlier in the year at Orlando, and Portland turned wins into draws. So that's 6 points. 6 points that separates them from the top of the table. So killing games off critical in this tight Western Conference race. Can you say anything? Can you do anything? You got any words of advice?
No, listen, you got to reiterate exactly what was just said by both Chris Wingert and Jeff Cassar. The reality is, though, against Eastern Conference opponents, this is the second time that it's happened. Now you're talking 4 points. And for me, you go back to Orlando, that first game of the season, 2 valuable points on the road against Eastern Conference opponents. Now you've done it again, this time at home against DC United in the dying seconds of a match. 4 points are a huge, huge difference when it comes down to playoff talk and that red line at the end of the season. You just have to hope that these 4 points don't separate Real Salt Lake from a playoff spot, or probably even worse, home field advantage in the playoffs.
All right, FC Dallas leads the Western Conference. Take a look at the conference standings. They're just 1 point in front of Colorado, and the Rapids do have 2 games in hand on Dallas, 1 on third place RSL. RSL 2 points in front of fourth place LA, 3 up on fifth place Portland, 4 in front of, on Sporting KC, 4 in front of Vancouver and Portland. So it's tight. Seattle and Houston have dug a hole in the season's first half. Those are the 2 teams tied for last place. They're 7 points out of the playoff berth. What do the players and the coach think of the team at the halfway point?
I think we're happy with where we stand in the table. I think that, it's a pretty good half of the year, especially considering I think we've had more games on the road than at home. At least it feels that way.
My analysis is that we're in a good spot. I think we would take that position that we are in the league at the start of the year, and I think that we've shown a lot of good glimpses recently, a lot of positive stuff that we can use, and then plenty of room for improvement to kick on in the second half of this season.
The last 2 performances, I think, have been some of the best from RSL in a long time, that's really promising. But little things do add up to big things.
We're in a pretty good spot. I also think that we can get a lot better. I think that with the players we have, I think we've only seen a few moments or a few maybe halves that we've really put together a great performance, and so I think that's encouraging.
I like the position we're in. I mean, obviously third place in the entire league, 6 points off of the Supporters' Shield. I think you take that really any time. I like that we're healthy right now. We still are able to make moves in this window to possibly shore up positions.
To be honest, I think having no Champions League games this year, and obviously the unfortunate early exit of the US Open Cup, I think we can use that as a motivation to put more concentration on the remaining fixtures that we have. So hopefully that will work out to our benefit, and we'll have players fresh from here on out.
So I like where we're at. We still need to improve in some areas, but I think we would have taken this start, 8-5 and 4. I mean, it's pretty damn good.
Danny, if you told me RSL would be starting a 19-year-old center back, Javier Morales would break a rib, and Sonny would break bones in his face, I probably would have picked RSL a little lower than third in the West right now. I also know when I give you opinions like this, you tend to roll your eyes at me, so I'm not looking. What do you think?
I agree with what everyone said. I think there's a lot of honesty. It sounds as if everyone has really thought about this, have a few days off on the backside, that 1-1 draw at home against DC United. I would say the early exit of US Open Cup, we talked about this during the broadcast, absolutely benefits the team. No CONCACAF Champions League. FC Dallas is still dealing with US Open Cup and CONCACAF Champions League start. I think financially they're in a decent position. But the reality is also, for as much as we play glass half full, glass half empty, this team has a lot of defensive mistakes that they've made throughout the course of the season so far that has punished them. They could be much, much higher in the standings with a lot of games in hand. We'll see how it all plays out. This is now becoming the silly season. And oh, by the way, FC Dallas, that 4-0 win against Orlando, Adrian Heath is officially fired as the Orlando City manager as of Wednesday afternoon. So this starts target allocation money, general allocation money, trades, draft picks. Everything is going to go off the charts in about the next 3 weeks or so.
All right, critical that RSL keep picking up 3 points at home. That's one thing that really got them in a good place early in the season. They're in a good spot if they keep doing that. So here comes Montreal. Take us to the telestrator.
So
what do they have to do against the Impact?
It starts and ends really with Didier Drogba, but he's not the only player. One of the philosophies when you talk about the Montreal Impact is possession out of the back. And a lot of the times it looks very similar, the structure to Real Salt Lake, 4-2-3-1, except this is a team that really relies on wide play, wide service, and this man, Didier Drogba, 11 goals in 11 matches. He's absolutely been a difference maker. When he's on the field, he changes games. I think he raises the level of athleticism, he raises the level of accountability, and he raises the level of the players around him as well. But it's not just Drogba. It's also about Salazar, who's come out of nowhere. It's Dominic Oduro, Harry Shipp, Ignacio Piatti, guys that continue to apply pressure, but look how many players are inside the box. I mean, you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the service out on that left-hand side. You also have one inside the goal fighting for the ball. I mean, this is a team that continues just to collapse with numbers in the offensive third at all times. It's a possession-based team, yet at the same time, I would kind of use the term counter-attacking team. They're proactive in their movement. They love to find ways where they can get both outside backs getting forward. And the reality is, with guys like Harry Shipp, Ignacio Piatti, now Salazar, that's kind of their version of the Plata, Burrito, and Javi roles. Didier Drogba, absolutely a difference maker. His strength, his athleticism. He's changed his role a little bit. He's cunning. I would say at times he cons the referee. He plays the game within the game very, very well. But at home or on the road, this is still a very fascinating team to watch from Mauro Biello. His philosophy has absolutely paid dividends, and he's brought in players that understand their roles, and I think that's why they've been successful in the East.
Okay, for RSL's starting 11, going to be changes. Tony Beltran, yellow card accumulation, so he's out. That decision's made for Jeff Cassar.
Yeah, I think it's an easy decision when you look at the starting 11. What you would just do is throw Chris Wingert over at right back. I don't think Boyd Aquanu is ready as of right now. I think there's too much trust in Wingert, but Boyd becomes an option off the bench. When you're talking about the central part of the midfield, I think you're going to continue to see Kyle alongside Luke. Javi pulls the strings. Plata on one side, Burrito on the other. You're at the attack. But there's also going to be question marks because of heavy legs and fatigue. Will you see a Jordan Allen potentially get the starting 11 opportunity? And as we've seen a switch from Jeff Cassar. We've seen Olmes Garcia coming off the bench before Devin Sandoval. I think that speaks volumes to kind of the form that Olmes is in right now. Can he be an impact player? We saw what he did in the terms of that breakaway opportunity. If he finishes lights out, game over, there's still a little bit more growth to continue to maintain.
All right, Saturday night, the Montreal Impact visit Rio Tinto Stadium. There are still a few hundred tickets left if you want to go out to the game. If you're not going out to the game, well, our coverage begins at 7:30 on KMYU. First kick is at 8 o'clock. Some other big games to watch this weekend. Saturday, the Galaxy visiting faltering Seattle. Two legendary coaches squaring off. Sounders need to get going, and Colorado and Vancouver.
Yeah, it'll be a big game on ESPN. I'll be a part of that broadcast. Vancouver at home against Colorado Rapids. Timmy Howard getting a shutout in his first match against Portland at home. 2 times that ball came off the post. Unfortunate for Portland. But that is a huge, huge game in the Western Conference. One of those decider games, big 6-point swing.
Sunday, Portland's at the New York Red Bulls. That's on ESPN2. Then New York City visiting Sporting Kansas City. That's the FS1 game.
Yeah, New York City FC on the road at the New England Revolution, looking for big points midweek. How do those heavy legs play into going to Sporting Park? By the way, Pirlo, Lampard, David Villa. I think New York City FC is the best team in the Eastern Conference.
It's a busy week for RSL. RSL's going to fly to Vancouver Tuesday for a midweek game Wednesday night. So we'll have 2 games to talk about when we're back here next Thursday.
Will I also get to put a picture of you on your bicycle again?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
We're not getting on a bike. Remember to follow Dunny on Twitter and Instagram at Brian Dunseth, and on Facebook at Brian Dunseth1. Someone kill his microphone. I don't want to hear him laugh. I'm on Twitter. I was totally set up. I'm on Twitter and Facebook at Davey DJ James. Remember to watch RSL Saturday and Wednesday here on KMYU. Dave Fox will take you to the Summer League game on his bicycle. Show you the Jazz next. No, don't. No. Get away from me. Traitor. Sold it down the river or out the bay in Vancouver.